Welcome to another exciting episode of the Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Paper Guy. Today we're going to talk about the calendar and how important it is for you to follow it. I'm talking about both on the micro and the macro level. Now, a lot of times we do this just without even really realizing we're doing it. We hunker down and we get our supplies ordered and all that kind of stuff, which is an important thing to do. But we do that before Cyber Monday. We expect that sales are going to pick up. We expect that sales are going to be a little bit slower over the summertime. And historically they are, as people go on vacations and that kind of thing. You also pay attention to various things such as the holidays. Halloween is coming. You want to get your Halloween stuff up. Early September, I would say, probably would be a good time. Late August, early September would be a good time to start getting that stuff up. When you're watching this, your Christmas stuff had better have been up already because people start looking for that. October, people start thinking about Christmas time and buying all those kind of things. I've relayed on the show any number of times how I made the mistake one of my first years out. I had some Christmas stuff and I listed it all, I'd say about the first to second week of December, thinking, oh, everybody's going to buy the stuff. It's going to come in just in time. Not realizing that by the time I was listing it, most people were already done shopping for their Christmas items. And I don't necessarily mean gifts. I mean Christmas-themed items. Similarly, Valentine's Day, you're not going to be listing that stuff, the 12th of February. It's just not a good time to list it. You're going to want to be listing that stuff basically right after the first of the year because your sales will pick up middle of January. People like to have the things, have it in hand, and have it all ready for the holiday. Especially if you're selling things that they might be using if they're junk journalists and all that kind of stuff. They certainly want to have the things well in advance because they've got to build the shipping time in as well. They've got to build into whatever they're doing with it. So you've kind of know that as well. Now most of you watching this, and certainly Mr. Magazine and I, sell vintage collectibles and that kind of thing, paper and all that sort of thing. I'm certain that people in the clothes industry, the resellers of clothes, have known this forever. You probably don't sell a lot of swimming trunks in America come January, February. And if you do, it's probably somebody that's going to be going on a cruise or something like that and says, oh boy, I better get one. On the plus side of that, as long as they're ordering that, they're not going to find those at a store in January, so they'll be buying yours online. But we're a little less dependent upon the calendar here in the reselling stuff. That being said, how many Bolo videos have we done? Do check them out every single Saturday. But how many Bolo videos have we done where Mr. Magazine points out the season, the sporting season, and he does that all the time. He saves up his football stuff and gets them listed at the beginning of football season, saves up his baseball stuff and gets it listed there. You don't want to be listing hockey stuff in the middle of July as a general rule. Obviously something like a Wayne Gretzky rookie is going to sell no matter what, but otherwise it's just not particularly hot in the middle of summer. See what I did there? But on the other side of things, baseball stuff, you don't want to be listing it now. Baseball season is over. Just hold on to it. Wait till spring training. Wait until there's a little bit of buzz around it. And what got me thinking about this was you also have to think about some of the bigger things that end up selling and the bigger anniversaries. I was doing a Whatnot auction. Definitely do check them out every Tuesday and Thursday at 4 o'clock Eastern. One is Ephemera, the other is comics. Lowest starting bids. And I had up a bicentennial item. That was actually at my Facebook auction, which is on Mondays. And it suddenly occurred to me that 2026 will be the 250th anniversary of America. And the bicentennial in 1976 was a huge deal. Now, obviously, the bicentennial is bigger than the 250, but I would hold out expectations that the 250th birthday of America will be bigger than the 249th. There will be more hoopla around it, and my thought was, I bet bicentennial stuff probably picks up about then. Especially if everybody is in a patriotic type mood, it could be really, really good. What do you need to do? Start buying bicentennial stuff now in the cheap. Don't necessarily list it. Throw it all off in a box. In year 249, start listing the stuff, figuring you're going to sell it over the following year. Similarly, you've got things like the World Cup. that comes around every 4 years generally. The Olympics come around every 4 years. You tend to sell those kind of things in the year where they occur as opposed to the off year. So if you've got a good setup and you kind of can list the stuff in such a way, why go and list a Winter Olympic stuff right now? There's no need to do so. You kind of wait until the Winter Olympics are going to be coming around, and then you do it. You do it a little bit in advance. So if you can set up some kind of a system where you've got boxes set up and you know right where they are and you know right what was in them, and then you can go, you pull this out, you pull that out, you pull that out, the anniversary of, at some point in our lifetimes, we're going to have the 100th anniversary of the start of World War II. That will probably get a lot of attention at that point. If you're so inclined, start buying the World War II stuff cheap right now and putting it away. Granted, you got to sit on it for a number of years, and it does sell now, but who knows? It may even pick up even more then. People in the comic industry have been doing this for years and years and years. A lot of people will buy comic books figuring that such and such a character is going to be making an appearance in a Marvel movie. When that ends up happening, even on the rumor of the person appearing in there, prices skyrocket. Then as a lot of the times the prices come back down somewhat, maybe not to the level they originally were, but they do come back down. But that's looking at the calendar, and it's also looking at the greater world around you, the news around you, to see what is trending and how to use that in order to make more money. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. That's what we're all in this for. So I would suggest to you that you sit there and you look at the calendar, and you obviously do your seasonal items when you need to do so, but do them in advance to allow time for people to purchase them, for the item to arrive to them. Again, you don't want to be putting up New Year's stuff on on Christmas morning. You're not going to sell a lot of it because people aren't going to get it in time. But you also want to look at the bigger things, the bigger pictures, the 100th anniversaries of, the 200th anniversary, 250th anniversary, the 50th anniversary, 20th anniversary. Those numbers like that, again, the 25th anniversary will sell better than the 17th anniversary. It just simply works that way. It's in the news more, people reflect on it more, and that sort of thing. So maybe as you head into the next year, as you head into 2023, maybe just grab one of those, quick little online what happened in the year and start checking, 1998, 25 years old, and 1973, 50 years old, and so on. And people will end up getting nostalgia for that kind of stuff as well. One final thing to let you know, a lot of people do buy things like Life magazines are a perfect example to give out as birthday gifts. If you kind of can list the things out that are on landmark birthdays, so if it happened to work out, 50-year-old Life magazine and somebody's turning 50, somebody or other else is going to want to buy that to give as a gift. So the calendar is important, and you can manipulate it a little bit in order to make a little more money and sell things. Some of the things I wouldn't necessarily go out of my way. I wouldn't necessarily hold on to a Life magazine for 12 years waiting for the right time to list it. That being said, you can expect a bit of a bump, and if you happen to be out there and you see a pile of them for the price is right, you may say, hey, I don't usually list these right away, but I'm going to get these on fairly quickly because they'll sell for people's birthdays. So do hit the like button. I think we can all plan around doing that. I do appreciate everybody for coming on by, and we will see you next video.